dropping knowledge on GRAMBO grows, talking about plants and how they go. Let's go. From seeds to the cure, we always smoke pure. Nothing but good vibes up in here. We blaze the ganja, keep it fire. GRAMBO grows, burning desire. Learn about cultivation, step by step. New kids, rock out the negativity. Cannabis vibes on here. GRAMBO grows, rhymes up here. Grow, rhyme with unite.
There is nothing but good vibes up in here. Welcome to GRAMBO Grows. Guys, this is the late night smoke. You know what it is. It's your last chance to come in on the bus. We're the last show before the end of the week, baby. We pull in as late. It's like we sit at the back of the bus with all the bad kids and we're, cleaning out the seeds out of our weed and throwing them out those little half windows at cars. That's life we're living over here at the late night smoke. Guys, 'twas the night before rescheduling, and all through the house, people were flipping shit. I wish they'd shut their mouths because we don't know what's going on. Everything is wild. I don't understand nothing. Sticky Skunk gets it. Throw those poo emojis in the chat. If you know, you know. Guys, we do a post show after this. Shout out to all the GramBorg members. I'm feeling 30% better. I'm feeling a little bit better, so I'm back to it. Got them poo emojis. If you know, you know. Why do people put poo emojis in? Well, you got to join the GramBorg. I talk a little too openly on the post show. Let's just say that. Shout out to the GramBorg members and all the GramFam. I'm very hyped today. It's a lot going on. Been planning some stuff with Turpicana Kyle, or not Turpicana Kyle, extract seller Kyle, Terp Kyle. Let's call him Kyle Terps. We got a bunch of new stuff coming. We're gonna get maybe get a little bachelor pad downtown Denver. I don't know. It's too early to announce everything, but it's gonna be sick. I'm super stoked for the future, even though there's all this stuff. Here's the thing, guys. We've lived through all of this shenaniganry, so you can't take us down. To quote the rapper Dax, I love the line. He goes, "They tried to put us in the ground, but they didn't know we were seeds. Put us in the ground, baby. We'll fucking grow. That's where we flower. We're growers, baby." So, guys, we're gonna get to it today. It's I've been so fascinated by plant metabolism of late. You learn how to grow, you learn what the bottles do, you learn how to amend your soil, you learn how to do yada yada yada. But it's really cool to kind of figure out what's actually going on inside of the plant. And it's very interesting. It's we don't have really a good analogy for what plants are doing compared to a human. I always think of water. You might have noticed from the thumbnail, the water is the blood. But unlike us, our blood just kind of stays and recirculates. They have their stomata. So the water is a carrier, just like our blood is a carrier of all the nutrients and all the different things that we need to support our body all across all of our different parts. And so that's what plants are doing, but then they can't recirculate it. So they just blow it out that stomata. And that's why your DHU is running so hard all the time, is because the exact amount of water that you are giving them is essentially the exact amount of water that they are going to give off. And it's just an ongoing cycle. They use the transpiration to get rid of the water. They use the mass flow and the osmotic pressure to move the water. It's all diffusion. Particles in high diffusion tend to go towards where there's low diffusion, just like low pressure systems. It all starts to make sense in nature. And so, we're getting back to the basics today. We are getting into watering. It is your plant's blood. It is how they are surviving. And it's very important. And the different ways in which you water dictate a whole bunch. If you, some organic growers, they'll say their soil mix, "Oh, I'm water only." Whoa. And they don't even pH it most of the time. They're just water only. That's pretty sick. I'm loving that stuff. So today, it is the highly anticipated episode. I've had Scotty Reel on a couple times. I managed to get the dude on one time. And then it's so nice, as we're ending out the year, a Christmas miracle happened. And Banner from the DGC was able to join us. And I couldn't be more stoked about it. So guys, welcome my good friend. Banner's here.
Howdy. It's a Festivus miracle.
It's a Festivus miracle. I love it. Yeah, it's so awesome, man. I was glad you were able to find the time. I call it the late night smoke because like it doesn't feel late during the summer. It doesn't feel late. The sun's just starting to go down. Bro, it feels late as hell right now.
It is so dark right now, dude. It is.
Well,
black.
not where you're at. You're out. Where are you at? You're up in Alaska in the midnight sun or something.
No, it's Colorado, bro. No. Yeah, midnight sun, sure.
Yeah, love it. Hell yeah, dude. So yeah, I was stoked that you were able to come on, and we talked earlier about different things that you had going on in your garden. It's one of the things that I wish people got to see all of our cannabis because, like, legitimately, the bakery is bringing the fire, bro. You grow the goddamn fire. Scotty grows the goddamn fire. I wish people understood just how goddamn good the weed coming out of there is. So getting to talk to you specifically, no Scottus interruptus today. We're just we're going in. And Scotty, if you're in the chat, stop lurking, you son of a bitch.
He threatened to join and harass me. I don't know if he's going to show up or not.
No, we got to dig into the banner grow. So right off the bat, how long you been growing? Why'd you start growing? And let's talk about banner history, because I know I've been listening to Dude Grows for a long, long time. Some of the people in the recent Dude Grows 2.0, Dude Grows 3.0, they might not know your history. So why'd you start growing, and how'd you start growing, Banner?
Oh man, I wanted to grow weed ever since I realized that it was way more enjoyable for me than drinking. And we had this is like college years, but we had a buddy that grew, and I was always just fascinated by it. And I just thought it was the coolest. We had a couple buddies that grew, and it was the coolest thing to like go over to their place, and they'd be, once in a while you'd get like a little peek, and I don't know, it was just the coolest thing. And at the time, your choice was either, like regs, like brick, or if you had a buddy that grew, you were styling, man, you get the kind bud. And so it was such a big deal. And as everybody knows now, that it's, like a no-brainer, the difference in quality. Right. So I was always kind of fascinated by it. And then I guess, and then, obviously being in Colorado, when things just went legal, it was finally, I had all of the things in place in order to try it. Just, space and like the whole thing. So, give it a try. And I got started with Dude and Scotty's help. I met Scott at a party, and we were just bullshitting and became friends. And turned out that he just Dude Grows needed some help with their website. So I basically just kind of made a trade, said, hey, I'll fix up your website, and you guys teach me how to grow and maybe hook me up with some equipment. So,
whoa. I said I thought I knew your story. Turns out no, I didn't know that.
Man. That's, so that was like way to grow days, and right. So
back when the Dude Grow show used to record in a 10 by like 18 tent, right? Something like
that. Yeah. In the warehouse. It was set up on the balcony of the warehouse. It's pretty funny. And then actually, if you guys can see the bar at Scott's, that is, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. That's from his house. We didn't move it there. I take that back. Anyways, so yeah, I had some pretty slick equipment and a lot of knowledge and help to get going. Another one of my very, very close friends is a very long time grower, and he was happy. He was the one that really, when we became friends, I just started bugging him about checking out his grow. I'd ask him a gazillion questions, and he's just so cool, and he'd help me out, and it was cool. He enjoyed, teaching me, and I enjoyed learning. And he was he's still around. He very experienced and really good at it. And so I had I was lucky. I had a bunch of teachers. I didn't have to like fumble with on my own with forums and stuff. I do have some buddies like in the past that had tried like in an apartment, and one of our buddies famously tried, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, and he was trying in a closet in this old like pre-war apartment building, and they had like steam radiator heat, and he just could not and you know, it was like turned on for the whole building, and it was just blazing hot, and there was just nothing he could do. There was nothing he could do to get rid of the air, and it was just a failure every time. So for a long time, I was happy to not do it just because I didn't know how to do it. I didn't have any equipment or anything. And then, yeah, so finally out here with the dude and Scotty and a couple buddies locally, I got a pack of beans, and that was the first thing, like a pack of 12 reg seeds. Just started from nothing, and you know, over time failed a whole bunch and had some successes, and I don't know, I don't think I'm like an expert or anything. I think I do, you know, all right. I'm generally pretty satisfied with the end result, but I you know, I'm not looking to compare. I don't know, I'm not competitive about it, you know. I'd much more bring the jar and crack it open when the buddies are around and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" You know, that's kind of more my style.
Hell yeah. No, I totally get it. That's the thing. Weed's so personal. It's such a personal thing. That's what I'll talk about. Like when we talk about the rollout of like cannabis beverages, I'll always be like, man, weed's personal. 10 milligrams destroys one person, is immune to another person. It's very personal. So there's strains that, you know, I remember there's a at the Cup last year, there was a Jack Herrera that I smoked. And I don't like Jack. I don't like piney things. I don't like the Island Sweet Skunk or the, you know, any of those sort of things. And I smoked it, and I was like, that is the best Jack I've ever smoked. I hate it. Goodbye. You know, it's just, it is what it is. So
yeah,
the fact that you came up under the dude, the Scott, then it's a foregone conclusion. I don't even have to ask you what medium you grew in. So you started growing in cocoa, huh?
No, that's that would be incorrect, sir. My
oh shit.
my hippie sensibilities were much stronger, where I wanted everything as natural as possible. So I was all about soil, and yeah, I mean, I tried some more like BioBiz. I ran for a while.
Okay, those and BioBiz is the liquid organics.
Yeah. I did that for a while, and then I kind of switched over to Nectar. We had Scott on the show. He's just such a cool dude, and I love those those guys are great. And met a bunch of people that I didn't know this, but at the time I learned that there was it's kind of like this like old just friends network that kind of, you know, let people like, hey man, you should try this Nectar stuff, you know. And a lot of those people were either growing weed, and a lot of them also grow vegetables. And like they're really good at it, and I love produce, man. I love myself like a real mean tomato, or I'm crazy about like hot peppers. And so there's a lot of people in that scene that have, and I don't know, I just always thought that was fascinating. It's like I always liked hanging out with you know, weed growers, but you know, like now you're adding in hot peppers and tomatoes too. Like, yeah, these are my people, you know. So anyways.
You seen the shirt, weeds a gateway to gardening, you know?
Yeah. And I liked that for a bit. And then I just got kind of turned off. There's a lot to it. Like there's just a lot of bottles, and I get it. Like you can control everything and all that. And I don't know, it just seemed like an awful lot of work. And I found myself like, hey, if I want to go somewhere for a few days, you know, it's hard. And so anyways, and then to be honest, I had a couple failures, and I just wanted to take a break. I'm like, this is dumb. I need to reset. It's not really fun, and I'm not getting out of it what I'm putting in. And so I came really close to just like done. All right. And then I decided, all right, let's try it differently. Let's do it differently and see if we can make it fun. And so I did, and I finally let Scott talk me into the buckets, number one. And then so with the buckets, you know, I just tried. The cocoa is just I was just blown away by how much faster everything goes. like just growth wise and how much like they drink. It's just nuts. So I was pretty excited about that. That was kind of fun. And then also just scaling down. So I completely got rid of everything. No cuts. I've had a lot of really nice, I've been really fortunate to have some friends that hooked me up with some real nice cuts, but I just wanted to start over. And my buddy, Do You Right Genetics, he's a good pal of mine, and he makes seeds, and he's not like he doesn't sell seeds. He just makes them for himself and his friends. And we share a lot of kind of the same, you were saying, like it's personal. We have a similar palate, I think. And so anyways, I decided like, hey, you know what, man, if I'm gonna try this again, I'll give these, beans a ride, and just out of, it's fun. And then especially since it's a buddy, as they're progressing, you're like, hey man, this one looks like this, or this one's like that. And it's just cool because it's the maker, right? So anyways, that really made everything fun again. Just scaled down, simplified, less is more. The buckets, the big thing are, you don't have to water every day or mix up stuff every day. And that's a big deal, man. I like to, disappear for a weekend and go out of town or whatever, or, I like my mountain time, and I can't be there all the time, So
yeah. No, that's it's one of the things that I remember. I got a set of buckets, and we love Scott, so it's one of those things that, like, I hope it's good. And then boy, I started trying. It's one of those. Literally after I started using the buckets, I was like, Scott, we need to get you on Shark Tank, because with the grow dots, the recharge, and those goddamn buckets, he has created the easiest way to grow the dankest weed, and that is that's here nor there. And by the way, thank you, Banner. He got me set up over there with Real Growers. If you guys want to go over to Real Growers, doesn't work on the buckets, but on Grow Dots and Recharge, you can now use coupon code GRAMBO at checkout for a little discount. So let them know that you, the GramFams over there watching, throw GRAMBO in the coupon code, get yourself some recharge. And Banner set me up with that. Thank you, Banner.
You're welcome. My pleasure. It's interesting because if you guys follow the other show, Scott's very he has a different mindset and approach to gardening than I do. So I was telling you before, like I'm all about like the inner hippie and it being like natural, and I don't really want to do a lot. I feel like the plants are smart enough to know what to do, and it's really just my responsibility to provide the environment for them to thrive, and that's it. And Scott, his approach has always been more like production oriented and stuff. So I was always skeptical about the buckets and everything. No, I don't want to do that. I love it. And even if you don't use the buckets, just having a self-irrigated planter is just such a big deal.
Well, that's one of the things I was going to mention. Scotty Real will tell you himself, shout out to Hempy for like kind of spreading these their SIP buckets, sub irrigation planter buckets. And as Scott tells you, he'll link you. Go build them yourself. They're a pain in the ass to build, but if you're inclined to build them, you can totally. And it just, as you were talking, it totally made me realize I got to get you over on Jug Dealers. They have the same sort of philosophy, and they're always calling it the we're plant janitors. So I'm gonna have to get you one of the plant janitor shirts.
Oh, sick! Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
but the other thing I was going to say about those is, I find with cocoa, even in a pot, it just goes through water fast. I just find that it just the root ball just goes nuts. It just has it's like a vacuum. It just sucks up water. And so I learned quickly, like if you're hand watering cocoa, dude, you got to be at it. And, having the reservoir is really the huge upgrade because the cocoa just goes through water so fast. And so if you want to do a lot less work, man, you got to put that stuff in a reservoir.
And that's one of the things that got us on this topic, because I think I actually got a question from one of the, all the shows where it could have been Jug Dealers, could have been this, could have been Dude Grows. I have no clue where it was from, but it was kind of talking about what can you put into your reservoir and what can't you. And then you talked about how you're doubling down on that simplicity, and you're just kind of using like cheap salts in the buckets and just kind of letting them go in there. Do you let the let's get into watering. Do you let the nutrients kind of dissolve into it? Like, is it getting down? Because there's like an inch of water down in the sip buckets. Are you letting it get down in there? It doesn't rot or ferment or anything, right? Like, what are you doing? Are you adding recharge? You top dressing? How does Banner water with the buckets? Because they do it themselves, kinda. You still got to do a little bit.
So I had a buddy that turned me on to. Okay, so the whole thing with Scotty Style is he's putting just water in the res because he's using dots, and I'm not using dots, so therefore I need to put nutrient into the res, and so I don't want to have science projects in the tubes, so I needed to get or find something clean, and I had a buddy that turned me on to Decine 420. And basically it's just dry salts. It's not expensive. It's very clean. At first it's my complaint is that it can be a little hard to dissolve. But then I discovered that an immersion blender, like, from the kitchen, works really well. So
really?
Yeah.
So you are physically blending your nutrients?
Yeah, man. So you just grab the immersion blender. And then when you're mixing it up, it goes in for, into the bucket for a second, whips it around real good. And then once it goes into the res, it really, the plants will take it pretty quick. And then with that line, and I would probably do it with any line anyways, is after a couple feedings, they get around to just plain water. Okay. And as far as like residue and stuff, before I started using the immersion blender, I did have some salt crust building up in the float valve from the res, and it kind of created a problem where the float valve wasn't really doing a whole lot. It wasn't opening properly. So anyways, since I've started blending that, don't have that problem. And then as far as like, I really don't add much else. I do like, I like recharge. I use it probably once a week, but that's a top feed. And I just do it slow, and it's not a lot so that it doesn't really drain all the way through to the bottom.
Yes.
You will still get some cocoa that will kind of like grind up and fall through and wind up in the bottom. But you're going to clean that after a run anyways. So it's really not a big deal. It's just inert cocoa. There's nothing, I haven't had any problems with stuff growing in there or anything like that.
Okay. Because that is the concern, right? My buddy, I was top dressing like Ruby Fulvic from New Millennium. I was teaching my buddy to grow. I've been growing a long time, and this dude's been growing for 3 weeks. He's like, I'm gonna put some Ruby Fulvic on tonight, and I was like, bro, do not like you wouldn't think that such a little bit of fulvic acid gets down in that thing. It's over, baby. It's gonna start getting funky, fermented. If you get the recharge down in there. Ooh. So do you have any like thoughts on like how do you just eyeball it? Do you go too far watering it? Like, how do you know how much you can top dress without it leaking down into the bottom?
Yeah, it's a feel kind of, I'll be honest. I'm very much a not an exacting, like I was telling you before, I'm more about kind of natural flow. And for me, I don't want to turn, I don't want a garden to be like a lab for me. Like, I don't want it to feel like super sterile, fluorescent lighting and, like all sorts of like, micro measurements and stuff. That's to me kind of not fun. It doesn't feel natural to me. So as far as the recharge goes, it's strong stuff. You don't really need a lot. So one of the keys I think is just take it easy on it. You don't need to use that much. The label rate is plenty and it works. You can use more and it's not going to hurt anything, but you're just using more. And then when you put it in, I'm going to say like for a bucket, which is like what, 3 gallons of cocoa. When like on a fresh transplant that's coming from a 1 gallon, maybe like a cup of liquid with recharge in it. And then
that's less than I would have thought.
Yeah. And then, well, because you're only, I'm just trying to get the root ball like right in the middle, and I don't want it draining to the bottom. And then a little bit later, when they're a little bigger and that root ball is just pretty much the whole pot, then I'll go up to, I don't know, maybe like 2 cups, maybe a little bit more than that. But I don't find that you really need to go higher than that, just personally.
Right,
and then the other thing I do, the other trick, I've been trying to convince Nice Guy Kenny to do this. I don't know if he started doing it. Is the mosquito bits are like just the best thing to put into the cocoa before you put the plant in. You will not have to worry about any fungus gnats. I don't find that the cocoa gets too wet personally, but I could see that being a problem if you overload it with plants that haven't, their root ball hasn't kind of built out yet.
And so you're actually grinding them up in some capacity and essentially amending the cocoa with you
don't even have to grind. No. They're just they're like little bits of corn.
Oh, they're the granular. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I was
they're pretty big.
When the first time I ever got them, I got the donut ones.
Yeah, that's a pain.
Chopping it up with a knife, and so I still have PTSD from that. Yeah, you can get the good ones if you're not an idiot.
Basically just sprinkle it into the hole before you put the plant in, and then and then I like to sprinkle just a little on top of the root ball, and then that's it. It's fine. I haven't seen gnats. And
that's bacillus, right? That's what's in the mosquito dunks.
Yeah. The other thing I will say, you were asking about stuff that you can put in the res. I like the SLF 100. That's enzymes, and that helps to kind of cut down on the salt buildup a little bit. It's supposed to break some of that down. I can't prove that. I have some, so I use it. And then the other thing I would put in there, by the way, I would not put any kind of microbes in there. Even the clear, like in general, I try to only put only clear liquids, and nothing alive. It's got to be inert.
Yes. One time I had a jar. I closed in a big ball jar. I mixed up some recharge and I shook it. And then I don't know what I was thinking. I put the lid back on that thing, forgot about it. Bam.
Oh no.
When I opened that jar, I opened it and death. The smell of corpses hit me. It almost exploded. It was dead. Do not anything alive. That's a good point. And enzymes are huge. I think that's one of the things that gets slept on a lot with newer growers. It lowers the activation energy for these plants. Jaron was telling me this, that there's a certain process that goes on the plant that for real, if you just like did it in a way where no enzymes ever touch the plant, it would take 1,000 years for this to break down. When you put these enzymes in it, it happens in a millisecond. From 1,000 years to a millisecond. That blew my mind. I was like, dude, plants are like doing stuff, bro. They're alive. I'm sure you've took mushrooms around trees and plants. You look at them different, right?
Yeah. You talk to them and they talk back.
You do. My friend. Hello again. And when you're sober, you're just walking around like fucking stupid tree, get on the way. It's important to break down your consciousness every now and then. I'm afraid to do a big mushroom trip right now, and I know that means I need it.
Yeah, I don't know. So like for me, I've been enjoying more of the micros, like micros, or maybe like I don't know, we call it a double micro, but not a lot of times that's really fun, man. I mean, usually when I'm doing that, especially for me, it's like mountain time. I'm out driving dirt roads in the mountains, or I'm going fishing or something like that, and it just feels really good. And I don't know, you call me crazy, but I swear the colors look better.
I mean, they do. Sure.
Like fall colors and stuff, man. I swear it looks better. They look more vivid.
I mean, I'll go deep in it. Like I was a big DMT guy back in the day. I won't get into how I had so much DMT, but I had it. And so I got into Terrence McKenna. I was listening to a lot of Terrence, and Terrence always propositioned this. He called it the stoned ape theory. The idea that like, primordial man was so it's foraging for food in these certain times of like our evolution, that there was times where like you'd be starving, come across psychedelic mushrooms, and you'd fill your belly with it. You'd eat a half pound of goddamn psychedelic mushrooms. And then those were the things with the neuroplasticity. And it starts. And one day I was so high on edibles and I was thinking about it. And I was like, dude, he's right. The idea of like you see a deer and then you go draw a deer. We take that for granted because we're modern humans, but that's some mushroom shit of like, I saw a deer. I could like draw a deer. All right. I'm probably getting too high on this garlic banger. I feel it kicking.
No, man, I totally agree with you. And, I love Tanazi's one of the people that is really into that, sort of that like ancient medicine. And I also find it really fascinating because you hear about all these, things in history about the shaman or the, witch doctor or, the healer or whatever. And, it's amazing. Like, I don't know, like to think about the, like, mushrooms and stuff like that, like naturally occurring substances. And imagine like someone a few thousand years ago coming across them and without, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it would be a totally different experience. It would be more mind blowing than it is now. Like it's mind blowing for us, but we live in a modern world, like where information's available and stuff. Like I can't imagine just stumbling across this in the desert and, like
things, when you're having a rough trip, one of the things that gets you through or would get me through it, I'd go, you took a drug. This is what drugs do. And we're just in it. If I didn't know, like there was the LSD test, for the CIA MK Ultra, and they were just dosing people mega doses, dude, epically not cool. If you didn't, you just be like, well, I'm dead. I have died, and now I'm in the afterlife.
Yeah, that's not cool at all, man. That's not cool to just dose somebody.
Not cool, bro.
It's not cool.
Hey, U.S. government, not cool, bro.
I will say though, like that, it makes me think like, so how much of your experience when you're doing that and you're kind of like not feeling comfortable is the influence of like illegality or like somehow you're going to get in trouble or into a bad situation, you know what I mean? Versus like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if it was a situation, that's where the trip sitters come from. A lot of the earliest kind of pagan, there wasn't much writings on it, but you'll hear the oral history of pagans and, Santa Claus was a mushroom. There's all that lore, So they were deep into that stuff. And they said you had to have a trip sitter was not like it was like mandatory. And like there's certain Eastern philosophies where they would give people doses and then they would read to them from the Bhagavad Gita and they'd go through the Bardo and they thought that mushrooms were like linking you kind of telepathically. DMT was originally made with a thing called harmine. And when harmine was invented, they called it telepathine. And then science changed the name. But the dude that discovered this shit, he literally called it telepathine. He's like, I believe that this is opening up channels of energy. And bro, sometimes it's quantum entanglement. Einstein called that spooky action at a distance. This shit's real. It breaks my brain.
Yeah. I always say, you probably heard me say this a bunch of times, but man, if people have been doing it for thousands of years, there's something to it. Right.
That's exactly, that is what kind of gets me a little bit about these things. I go, we are the guinea pigs of this shit. There was not this high terp, full spectrum extract oil. We are people have been smoking hash thousands of years. People have been smoking weed hundreds of thousands of years. We're the generation of this shit. Anytime I get like hacky in my lungs, I go, goddamn fucking vape pens.
Do you ever go deep into sort of like human evolution with like substances? Like, is there a reason that like, for example, people that can handle their substances these days, like, are they doing better than people who can't? And I would argue that in a lot of social circles or even like business or whatever, it plays a critical role in sort of the circles that you can run in.
It is a undisputable thing that, like, I mean, animals get high, I imagine plants are probably getting tripped out. We've all seen there's a video of a jaguar that gets in like DMT is actively, it's not actively, or like we can't eat it, it has to be just like weed we can't eat, but dogs can eat weed and get high. Yeah, there's a video of a jaguar tripping on DMT, and it's just like its pupils are huge, and it's just like a kitten. It's just like, it's so hilarious. That's why we bond over alcohol. Monkeys monkeys will drink fermented juice, things like fruits. They'll eat like rotten fruits that are fermented, and they'll fall out of the trees drunk. It's like, this is the thing about cannabis. I imagine, it's not a coincidence. Some people think mushrooms, Psilocybe cubensis is the actual term for the psychedelic mushrooms, and then cannabis is some people think with the theory of panspermia, they are not native. Weed is different than any other thing. It is food, it is building materials, it is medicine, it is entertainment, it is spiritual. It's unlike it's a strength to weight ratio is stronger than steel. There's no other plant. And when you look at weed, it looks like an alien. It looks weird. It's all these jagged leaves, and it looks like menacing. Like, don't fuck with that thing. It'll fuck you up, bro. It will.
Well, so do you think that our modern world is pretty like hectic and stressful and all that? And I don't know, do you ever wonder that if it is sort of almost required, like you need things to help you combat sort of the society and the world that you live in? Not combat, but deal with it, I guess.
I don't believe I always will argue, people will talk about like, how these people are running this and these people are running that. I go, at the grand scale, we're just an animal. And I don't think there's a head on this snake. I just think like we're still evolving. And I don't find it a coincidence that cannabis legalization finds us right now in a time where everything is effed, right?
Exactly.
We can all get on board. Everything is effed. And then all of a sudden, like, weed is popping up and our restrictions are, I don't find that to be a coincidence. I think we evolved to like be smart, and that's a smart move.
And the whole like just psychedelics PTSD kind of connection, I don't know, is it more prevalent now than it was decades ago or a couple hundred years ago, where like people felt that way? Did it exist back then, or is it
it's tough to say.
I'm curious about that.
There was a time where human beings didn't drink water because beer wouldn't kill you, wouldn't give you dysentery. So literally, like my ancestors just drank. Like my family, we have like a weird plaque. I always say I'm going to do a bit about it someday in my comedy act. I've had 3 drug dealers sit me down and be like, "Bro, I'm worried about you. You take the most of anybody," and that's just my family, man. We have like a plaque that prevents us from ODing. We just like. Our synapses, all the site receptors just get clogged with the plaque because, my people, the Vikings, we're fucking, it's mad. Our history's madness, Banner. It's kind of, we're so disconnected from history. I know you'd agree with that. We're a weird manifestation of the human animal right now. Very weird.
We are increasingly separated from the natural world. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, the last few women that I've fallen in love with came through this weird magic tablet. Oh, the seer stone, and I found love. And guess what? Those relationships didn't work out. That ain't how we're supposed to do this, man. We're in a loneliness crisis. God bless you. You're married and out of the game. It's be nice to your wife, Banner. It's fucked up out here. I always tell married guys, cherish your wife, cherish her.
Like, dude, I wouldn't even know where to begin with I don't know, it just seems so different, like apps, and like it's all on apps now, right? Because I remember when that stuff started. I'm pretty old, but I remember when like the dating apps hit, and I was like, who the fuck is gonna do that? And here we are.
Yeah, it's messed up. But
and to be fair, this is like 30 years ago I'm talking about, but like, or maybe.
Well, and to be fair, the last girl I fell in love with, I met her at the DGC Cup, and she was a grower, and that was amazing. And DGCcup.com is open. Go get on the newsletter, guys. Tickets are going to go fast. I know, like John Lindsay already has like an RV. Chunky Nugs already has his hotel room booked.
They're already sold out.
Yeah,
buying them out up the Front Range. Yeah, it's going to be a good time, man. We're adding some stuff. Yeah, like you said, the camping, that's going to be pretty sick. That's a whole another level, no?
It's going to be crazy. Speaking of tripping people, there's the legend of the tripping man who came out of the woods the next day after the DGC Cup.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
no,
then
tickets aren't on sale, but you can go get on the newsletter and get your first access to them when they do go out.
Yeah, coming up soon.
So yeah, it's one of those things. So when you started, that's fascinating that Scotty got you in there. I'm always curious how people hand water. For me, when I first started hand watering, the guys that taught me to grow, they would take sump pumps. They would take a sump pump and they would hook a garden hose to it, and they would take a garden wand on the other side of it, turn on the sump pump, and then you got this automated wand in your garden. And that's just how I grew up doing that. And I recommend to everybody, get yourself a sump pump. It makes your life so nice in the garden, and a garden wand. But so how are you doing? Were you doing a water pitcher?
No, old school, man. 5-gallon bucket, fill it up. Man. You measure out a gallon, 2 gallons, 3 gallons, 4 gallons, and put the marks on the side. And then fill up your water, throw your stuff in and mix it up, and then literally take like a plastic quart container and like scoop it out and pour it into like a watering can, and go around. And then that's how I was. And that's how I would always do it. And then I had a buddy that had a little bit larger of a garden, and he had one of those water things that you're talking about. And it was it had like a big reservoir. You'd fill it up like in the bathtub or whatever. And then it was on like a little cart, and you'd wheel it in. And then it had you'd plug it in, and then it had the wand. And I'm like, man, this is so much like hassle to measure stuff out and put it in. I'd rather just do the buckets. That's just me.
It's funny. There's so many different ways. The watering, that's why I'm so fascinated by watering. It's one of those things that gets overlooked. But between did you ever do any sort of I guess not. You've probably never even grown in rock wool in any capacity, have you?
I have first started doing clones in rock wool. I absolutely hate rock wool. I will never use it again unless you force me. I don't like it at all. I've never grown like in the bigger cubes or anything, nothing bigger than like a cut cube.
Okay. Because the idea of like dripper systems, I know Scotty did the DWC stuff when he was new. It's like the idea of like the amount of different ways you can skin this cat. And what's so crazy, I grew with the full new Millennium line, One Grow, in fabric pots. And, we're measuring now, or 13 bottles, all the additives, all the stuff. And I grew some of the best weed I've ever grown. Next grow, I used grow dots and real buckets, did shit all, equally good weed. I don't know, man. There is no way to do this. There's so many ways to skin this cat. I always will say you're insane if you grow with DWC, and there will always be comments going, Grambo, fuck off, man. Like, no, DWC is the only way to grow.
Not everyone's got the same style, man. I mean, you know what? Do what works for you.
Thank God.
Yeah, like for me, I would not want to have, just personally, it would not be fun for me to hassle with all the little drippers and like making sure they're not clogged and all that kind of crap. I don't want to do that. It's just not me. That's not fun for me. Some people like it, or like measuring stuff, like measuring the EC of your runoff and like putting it in a chart and all. It's all good, man, but it's just not me. I'm not that kind of person.
There's a guy at the Cup last year who wanted to show me his like grow diary, and bro, it was like the Unabomber manifesto. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
You still want to smoke his weed though, right? Like it's probably good.
Yeah. Of course. That's the.
But man. I mean, everybody. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I mean, everybody's got their own style, and I don't know. I'm way past the whole like this is the right way to do it and that's wrong. It's like, you know what? To be honest, I'll tell you one of the reasons that I kind of wanted to switch over to cocoa and salts is because 3 of the best growers that I have ever come across, and I will name them, Two-Tone Willie. And if you don't follow him on Instagram, you should.
Shout out. Did he win the first DGC Cup?
He like just crushed it when we had the Portland event. I don't remember. I don't think he's been to a cup. I think it was just the Portland thing. But his buds are no. He did come to Denver when it was at what was that place called? In Rhino. Anyways,
the Cultivated Synergy.
It's a yeah, that place. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So no, Two-Tone Willie, he grows with salts. Lovin' in Her Eyes.
Shout out.
You're not going to find a lot of weed better than that. And the last one, same thing, is Jaren. And all of them grow in cocoa and salts. And so that was good enough for me.
When we both started talking, just 10 seconds ago, that's what I was going to say. I was like, look at Jaren. He grows some of the best weed just in auto pots. He said that some of the worst herb he ever grew was during COVID lockdown because he was there fiddling. He was there. Normally he's on the road. He's in Spain. He's in New York. He's over here.
Yeah, his wife. It's because his wife does it all.
Well, shout out to the can of wives out there.
Mrs. Jaren.
Shout out to the female growers out there. It's 5%. Dude grows is 5%. GRAMBO grows is 6%. I'm killing it with the ladies. 6% and growing. Come on, let's go, ladies.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so interesting. It's one of those things that I love this game. It's people always give us like respect for how much like effort it takes, like realdgc.com and producing the shows and all the content we put out and for the years and how committed. And I go, bro, when you love this plant the way that me and all my friends do, it's not really work. It's play. I love that. Like literally I came in the other day and you're like, oh, Grandma, I got this green dot stuff. You got to try it. And it's like, oh shit, it fucking knocking me on my ass. And we're trading buds and stories and everything. It's a blast, man.
Yeah, it's a good hang. There's a lot of good people. I've heard, so just working on the show for, it's over 10 years now. Man, the stories that you hear, people that write stuff in, it is really like heart touching. And that's the kind of thing that really kind of keeps it going. Yeah. Like you're really like making a difference, I guess. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what people say, man. And
we got a letter. Remember the letter from Sean Samelia we got a few months ago? And it was like literally like him explains, like, I'm a combat veteran, I'm disabled, you guys, yada, yada, yada. And I thought Scott was lying. He's reading it. I was like, it doesn't say that in there. He didn't say GRAMBO makes me feel better. He didn't say that. And he did. And I like got misty eyed. I was like, people care? Holy shit. Yeah. Thank you guys. Like, it's so nice that people care, Banner. And people do care. People love you. That's one of it's hard to keep up with all the I love Banner comments.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, it's amazing to me that, like I was saying before, when you're getting started, it's a little easier now, but 10 years ago, especially, you were relying on forums and you could get all sorts of crazy answers. You could also get some good information, but man, sifting through it all, it was really challenging. And I think that for people that don't have access to things and they find the show or your show and they learn about growing that way, it changes their life. I couldn't tell you how many people have written in talking about how they were, an alcoholic.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but there he is. Sean Samelia is in the chat during that.
No way.
Bro, we read the letter and it fucking melted my fucking heart. Like legitimately, I was like, bro, I love you, buddy. Thank you, Sean Samelia.
The crew is all very nice. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for stopping in.
This is why I started the late night smoke. I put my kid to bed and I would sit kind of like not depressed, but alone, quiet. Oh, my kid's sleeping. I got to be quiet. And I was like, dude, if I just turn this camera on, I could hang out with 356 of my favorite friends and my literal friend, a dude I hang out with twice a week, every week for 3 fucking years now. And it's an amazing. God bless this community. Don't freak out. We're not going anywhere. And I always refer to Dude Grows as the mothership. It's like you got GRAMBO Grows over here, you got DGC Grow Talk over here, you got Scotty Real 420 over here, but then we all like the Zord, like the whatever the Megazord, we all come together. Voltron, that's what I was looking for. Like Voltron, we come together for the Dude Grows show, and that's why they That's why they take us down, Banner. They're scared of our power when we're all together.
That's right. That's right. They target us because we're so positive and helpful.
We're not always that positive. Sometimes we'll get a little bit snarky, but that's also part of it. Sometimes you gotta say the thing that you gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, I get triggered about Red Rocks pre-rolls and whatnot, but it's all in fun.
Right.
I really can't complain. Having a bunch of people that are good pals, and it blows me away the people that will come out to the cup, like travel, that will do it for their vacation. It blows me away the people that have gotten seeds from the show or from somebody else in the crew, grown them out or bred with them, and then they show up to the cup and they're like, hey, I made this, and here, try it. And it blows me away, man. It blows me away, the kindness, and that's what it's all about. I love that feeling. And I try to reflect that back.
Yeah, it's so easy. It literally is the easiest thing in the world. The only time any of us argue is when we have a vision for making things better. Like, no, I really believe in this. This is the thing we should do. We're truly blessed. I'm personally truly blessed, and I know you feel the same way. The community, our work lives, it's a thing, man, and so much more coming.
It's different. I spent a lot of time in the evil kind of corporate world, and it's a different kind of tension. It's because they're passionate and they believe what they're saying, and it's not a dismissive thing. It's not I'm doing this because I'm smarter than everybody else. It's just because I really think that this is what it's going to be, where there isn't a lot of ego. And for me, that's really awesome. Nobody's arguing because they want to try to get a raise or get a promotion or something. We're really just trying to make things better. We all like to do the same thing. Honestly, my favorite thing about doing the show is when we do kind of the after show or the Saturday stuff where it's a little looser. Man, I just love kind of hanging out with everybody. And like right now, we're just bullshitting. And to me, that's fun. And hopefully if you tune in, we're going to make you laugh, or we're going to teach you something, or you're going to teach us something. And to me, that's what makes it so great and, worth doing.
Yes, we every Wednesday because you guys know I'm not getting into it, because getting into it, my saying on GRAMBO Grows is nothing but good vibes up in here. I open every show with nothing but good vibes up in here. So like, we won't get into what happened. Y'all know what happened. And so we're doing kind of a cleaner, kind of tight show on Wednesday for live. And then we're transitioning over to, you just type in realdgc.com/live and come join us. I beg you to become a member for the Christmas season. Come over there. Things are tough on the old dude over there. Between you dealing with the actual website, dude dealing with the back end, and then me and Scotty are just like sitting there high, just like, thanks, bros. So shout out to you guys. Go join. And while we're on the subject of that, I'd be remiss to not shout out. In Star Trek there was the Borg. Like, we are one, we shall overcome. I call my audience the GramBorg. And so we got the two GramBorg elites.
Hive mind.
The hive mind. We are one.
The hive mind.
Resistance is fuel. And you guys can join. It's $5 a month. You can join. I do a post show every night after the show, and I will be doing a post show after this. But I got a shout out from Bad River Farms, Cody Whittaker, dropping 10 gift subs. That is a lot of new members. Welcome the new 10 members to the GramBorg. And the guy who's got the whole thing started, Mr. LJ Jones, dropping 5 gift subs on us. Thank you. Welcome the new 15 members to the GramBorg. And I Am Machine threw $5 on us. He said, Banner, keep it simple and always be growing.
Right on. Will do.
Oh, yeah. How could you not love these guys? It's freaking amazing. So what else? If we had to close, we're getting this went fast, Banner. We're at 55 minutes already.
We're having fun, GRAMBO.
I mean, this was I had a good time with my daughter today. We had a great time. A girl, that's for the post show. We'll talk GramBorg members. I got a story, and we'll leave it at that. And so I got, and I'm feeling better. Everyone was worried about me, but very sick. I started antibiotics this week. I'd say about 30% better, and I will take that. I was sick for like 6 weeks. It wears on you. I wasn't all that sick, but it's just like, bro, I can't breathe. Like I can't taste anything. My nose is stuffed. I'm low energy. It's getting to me. So I'm feeling good. I had a lot of talks with Terp Kyle Terps. And hey, Blackwater, welcome to the GramBorg, my friend. And someone said, well, I'm thinking about, sorry, Banner. I saw a couple of people say, I never get the gift subs. You actually have to turn that on. If you go to the member section of my channel, there's a little thing where it's like, do you accept gift subs from this channel? You got to make sure you have that checked. So go to my members tab and click the what do they call it? The hamburger menu, the little things, and you'll see accept gift subs. You will get gift subs if you accept them. Just throwing that out there.
I was going to say that your life force seems stronger today.
Well, and I was stoked to have you. That put a little extra pep in my step too. You know, it's like last week I had Brandon Rust on. Dude was like a fire hose of information, but I'd never met him. I cold emailed him. I was like, hey man, love what your stuff. Love, you're doing this organic stuff. You know about the plant science. And so I got to meet him on air. This is like been a long time coming. I've been telling you, I'd always cut to you on Dude Grow Show. And Banner, I'm looking at you. You got to come on, man.
Sorry it's been so long, man.
No. Once again, I never expect. It's late. 9 o'clock is very late for some people, and so I appreciate it. But as we're closing out here, any last tips that Banner would have for anybody? You keep things simple, but you're also so much in it. What are the things? What's the secret sauce that might help someone out there tonight in their group?
The best advice that I have, or that I can share, I think, is when something goes either unexpectedly or bad, the number one thing to do not panic. Do not panic. It is really easy to panic. And the best thing to do is to just stop, take a moment, and think through it. Don't make rash moves is really what I'm trying to say. Don't make rash moves. I'll give you an example. You think your plants are hungry and you're like, all right, I'm going to give them more food. And next thing you know, you've just compounded the problem. And so just what I've learned is it is much better to just stop, take a step back. It's not, even if it's an emergency, it's not an emergency. I mean, if it's flooding or something like that, fine. But if you don't like the way your plants look, just hold on and take a moment, ask around for some help. But yeah, best thing to do is don't panic.
I'd say my number one tip is just add that CalMag, baby. Or CalMag, get it on there.
You stole my thunder, man.
The CalMag. It's hilarious. Yeah, but no, you're right. Nutrient toxicity and antagonism looks a lot like nutrient deficiency. Get yourself a nutrient deficiency and a nutrient toxicity chart. You can have toxicities that looks like deficiencies. Jaron will always say, if you're watering in soil and you think you got to water, wait a day. If you're in cocoa and you think you got to water, effing water.
If you are following a nutrient schedule from any manufacturer, even relatively closely, you will not have deficiencies. You will have pH problems. It is amazing how much pH problems are really what's happening. And I think, to me, that's the joke about more CalMag is you have a pH problem and everybody says, oh no, you need more CalMag. To me, that's the joke. It's really because your pH is messed up and your plants aren't able to take up what they want.
What do you think about the pH? What's Banner do for end of veg, beginning of flower? I've gotten so many wild answers. I'll have people be like, oh, I grow it 5'9" in the beginning of flowers. Next time I grow 6'8". I go, what the fuck is going on out there? How do you think about end of veg, beginning of flower?
So for me, the cocoa, 5'8" to 6'1", 6'2", right? I don't want to obsess about it. I think that it just needs to be close, especially if you're using microbes. It doesn't need to be exact. However, I think that just blowing it off entirely is also not a good idea. So for me, I will, because I have a pen, I might as well check it and just make sure, man, so I don't mess it up, I find that, and then after you do stuff for a while, you'll kind of notice a pattern. So for example, for small, let's say veg plants, I might use something like some age-old grow, and some Demeters, which is Nectar's calcium, and some recharge. And just because I've done it so many times, and I know my water is pretty much at 7 all the time, and is very low in mineral content. My water is like 90 ppm or something ridiculous like that. It's really low. So when you put stuff in it, there's no buffering, you know what I mean? And so after you do it a couple times and check it, that like 5 mils of this and 2.5 mils of this are going to be right there. And then you can stop bothering. But I wouldn't say to just blow it off entirely. And the other thing I will say is, for as far as like bloom goes, one thing to pay attention to is most feeding schedules will start to peak out at like 4, 5, 6, and you can get some real heavy feeds. Those are the ones that you really want to pay attention to the pH on, right? Because you're just loading up your water with nutrient. So it's probably going to jack it,
And what do you think about EC versus PPM? Are you a PPM guy? You do EC?
I mean, I have a meter. I probably haven't used it in 2 years.
Right. Yeah. It's like raising multiple kids. Like people always say like your first kid, you're all worried about it. And then your second kid, like literally I'm sitting there smoking a joint, just like, this bottle, it gets 2 bloops. Bloop, bloop. This bottle, 1 bloop. Bloop.
I will say, I found that more helpful when doing the organics, only because when you're mixing up your own stuff, you don't necessarily know like how strong it is. And so for a while I do like the slurry test, you take some like half water, half your media, slurry it, and then measure it with the pen or the ppm meter, or EC. And then you could get an idea of, what's in your soil. And I don't know, it just got to the point where I felt like I'm just chasing stuff, and it's just more effort than I want to go through. And I also got, I don't have like big, huge beds or anything. And so I also kind of came to the conclusion that the living soil, organic stuff really doesn't work so great when you're running 5 or 7 gallon pots. And for me, it was a waste of time.
It's a whole, that's where I get like out of my element. Like Donnie, you're out of your element. When people start talking about organics, it never occurred to me to fucking grow organically. It's like, wait, you have to like plan out, like things are going to dissolve weeks later into becoming bioavailable when the plant pass. But I'm making it now. I'm 40. I'm more mature, or as I like to tell myself, I'm more mature. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna do a. I don't have a lot of space for beds and giant.
Yeah, exactly. It's really not for me. I know people do it, but for me, the ones that are usually successful doing it usually have a bed indoors. The thing that really pushed it, like convinced me though, was I had a buddy in the neighborhood that we put some I gave him some plants in the spring and put them outside, and he put them in the ground, and his soil is nothing special at all. Like it's loaded with clay. There's probably not really much in it. I mean, we put some compost and some castings or whatever on it, but I was amazed about or how when it's in the ground, like the plant is in the ground, it gets what it wants. You know what I mean? And so to me, it was like, and it does that because it's just this huge like well to draw from, and I can't recreate that indoors. That was my takeaway. It's like you need to do it at scale in order to do that. That was how I feel about it.
100% right. Well, Banner, we're at an hour 5, and we did it.
Well, thank you for having me on, man. I'm sorry it took so long. This is fun.
Yes, no, it's and it's an easy one because I know all your plugs. Come follow us, Dude Grow Show.
No edits.
You're gonna catch Banner every Wednesday and every Saturday on the Dude Grow Show. And no matter what happens, baby, we We go. Like Banner is OG DGC. I am OG DGC. We are not hired guns. Scott and Dude pulled us out of like their community, and like we're diehard loyal to DGC. I don't have sponsors on Dude Grows or on GRAMBO's show. I don't do anything. All of my effort is to the Dude Grows show. So find me and Banner over there. And this Wednesday, we're having a lot to talk about the rescheduling. So tune in.
Oh boy, I don't know, man.
Oh,
I'm ready to be underwhelmed. I got to be honest.
I'm also ready to be underwhelmed, but yeah, just literally, you never in these modern days, you literally never know. It could be nothing or everything, and anything in between.
Yeah, selfishly, I don't really care about any of it. What I want respect for state cannabis laws. That's what I want. You respect our state laws. When it's written into our state constitution, then it is. That's what we're doing here. That's what we want. And, that's how it is. If you want to live in some other place and there lots of people don't want it, then, hey, that's your problem.
Yeah,
that's selfish, but that's how I see it.
Well, that's another thing we all share in the bakery. To the man, not one of us is from here. We all left our birth home. I always say I'm a cannabis refugee. I left Iowa. I could tell all my friends were getting raided. There's like 6 of us that were like big growers in the black market, and 5 of the 6 got busted. And I go, dude, the writing's on the wall. I gotta get the hell out of here. And so yeah, I left my birth home to come here. Sometimes you got to make sacrifices for the things you love, and God damn it, I love this plant.
Living in Colorado is not that much of a sacrifice, bro.
I bitch about everything I've ever done in my life. Not having a kid and not moving to Colorado. 2 great.
I've wanted to move out here since I was 5. I used to come out camping and stuff, and I'm just a mountain dude. It's just my favorite thing. I just like being outside in the mountains, and the amount of hippies and cannabis friendly in Colorado, it's always been there. I've come out here to see shows and always had just amazing, great local weed. And it's part of, and what I'm really trying to say is it's like part of the culture, and the thing about Colorado for me, like where I live is the vibe. It's just, there's people are cool. And especially when it comes to cannabis, it's just people are like it. And they're cool about it. And if they don't like it, they don't care that you do. And man, I'm so like really fortunate, and I really am thankful for that.
Hell yeah. Well said, my friend.
So don't fuck it up with this. Don't fuck it up with this rescheduling thing for some bullshit, man.
We're the only state in the union that put a goddamn amendment in our state constitution. So we are straight up, you will pull the weed out of my cold dead hand here.
That's why I don't want to live anywhere else, man. This is the place for me. It's got everything I want.
Shout out to Amendment 64, baby. Banner, yeah. This was an amazing one. And
all right.
I will see you. I mean, we could go all night.
I'll let you go do your after show, my friend. But again, thank you so much for having me on, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow. And once again, live on Wednesday, baby. See y'all then. So, all right, Banner, I'll see you later, brother. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Later, dude. That was the wrong button, guys. We did it. This was the long-awaited Banner episode. We veered off. It was the thing. So here's the thing. I'm gonna let you guys into some YouTube lore. One of the things that you'll do with these titles, right? You'll do a live. You have to title the live before you start. Well, in YouTube, in the cannabis niche, if you change the thumbnail or the title after the video has premiered, YouTube thinks that you're up to something, and I'll change the title and instantaneously get an age restriction. I see it. The bakeries talked about it. So like when you create a title, like you can't really change it. Like, you're supposed. So we're going to talk about watering a whole bunch, and we did talk about watering, but immediately when Banner's like, yeah, I didn't know how to grow until Scotty and the Dude show. I was like, all right, okay. Fuck watering. We got to get to the bottom of this. This is going to be interesting. So that was badass. It was a great hang. And me and Banner see each other twice a week at work and everything. But usually we just talk about weed and business. Like, oh, GRAMBO, I got that ingest server. Here's the RTBS feed. And I go, oh, thanks, Banner. That's amazing. We're talking about work and keeping the gears running, so Dude and Scott don't have to worry about that. And so it was awesome to talk a little mushrooms, talk a little philosophy, talk a little bit of human conditioning, and that's amazing. So shout out to Banner, and guys, go over to realdgc.com. It's if you're not already over there, it's a great source of information. Some of the best growers in the world are over there doling out information. Some of the coolest humans. You can sign up for free, or you can throw $10 at them. Become a producer. It's not just a thing we say. We don't just call you producers out of the. We literally take it from the DGC producer section on the website, and you guys literally produce the show. Yeah, and you teach us. Me and Scott learn as much from the Real DGC as we learn from the books we read, websites we do, or any artificial intelligence things that we might learn from, because learning has a lot of different barrels today. So I love you guys. Special shout out to welcome Blackwater to the GramBorg. Thank you, Cody Whitaker, for dropping those 10 gift subs. Bad River fam. Guys, if you're in South Dakota, go check out Bad River Farms. There's some bad motherfuckers. New Millennium Jug Club. And it's not even that you guys aren't just Jug Club. You are GramBorg, you are DGC, you are Jug Club. You guys are everywhere. Respect to what you're doing. And then one of my favorite humans on earth, LJ Jones. Met him at the DGC Cup. What a great guy you are, LJ Jones. So thank you for everything you've done to build my community and build my health. At the DGC Cup, LJ Jones shows up with vitamins and chia seeds and like some water and some multivitamins. He's like, GramBo, I just want you to be healthy. You brought vitamins for me to keep me healthy, bro. What a fucking sweetheart. So I love all of you guys. And if you got a gift sub, welcome to the GramBorg. I encourage you. You got one for free this time. It's $5 a month. It goes a lot to keeping my I don't have the bills that the dude has over at Dude Grows, but Mo Grows from the Seeds Here Now, or the Seeds Here Now, the Seed to Harvest podcast over there. Canorado Chris's lady, Mo Grows. She's been helping out with my taxes and my car stuff, and helped me get my all sorts of stuff. And I was able to pay her a fair wage out of the money that the GramBorg gives me each month. It's only a couple $100, but it goes a goddamn, that's a lot of money, man. Thank you guys. Endlessly appreciate it. And yeah, we'll be back. Jug Dealers on Tuesday, Dude Grows on Wednesday, and I will meet you guys back here next week. I booked the show out, so I actually know who's coming. Who do I got on next week? I got he's not 100%, but I think we got Pigeons 420 on next week from the stash. Pigeons 420, Canadian grower, awesome guy, another one of my close content creator friends, freaking awesome. His as long as his schedule works out with Kiddo, he is we got Pigeons on next week, baby. Lots of killer guests. Stoked with the lineup that I got. I got a lot of people you haven't heard from before, and I got a lot of people that are famous in this community. They're going to be teaching us grow and talking shop. So I love you guys. My name's Josh GRAMBO. There's nothing but good vibes up in here. This has been GRAMBO Grows. And you know what? Let me hang out for a second, because I was so stoked with hanging with Banner. I didn't do the you guys know the thing that I do. It's the song. So let me get that fair, because I can't end this without that. So definitely let's talk rescheduling for a second. I don't think it's going to change very much. So guys, don't go into apocalypse mode. It's not going to change very much. But what suspiciously does seem to be going on is anything genetics, people that deal in seeds, people that deal in clones. I don't fully understand why, but it seems that the government has taken a stance that we need to eradicate the free genetics, that the mixing of the genetics and everything. I don't fully understand why they would do that, but that's just one of those things. And so I can't find the goddamn thing. This is the part about being a stoner, that where you fuck it. Sometimes you fuck it up. So GramBorg members, normally you guys know I do the dance. He's the man with the plan, with the punchline grin. Not tonight. So GramBorg, I'll see you on the post show, guys. There's still time. Click that join button. $5 a month. Come join the GramBorg. Get in on the post show and learn why people put the poo emojis into chat, because I tell stories that I shouldn't tell, and I got a silly story to tell you tonight. Nothing but good vibes. My name's Josh GRAMBO. See you later. Bye.
We're dropping knowledge on GRAMBO Grows, talking about plants and how they go. Let's go. From seeds to the Joe, we always smoke pure. Nothing but good vibes up in here. We blaze ganja.